Let's do it live on a First Friday edition of Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Bally Bet. I'm merely Bo. Nice shot at you. That is the great Z. How you living today, buddy?
Good, man. Got a little more, this is the day where it looks like it really is going to take shape. There could be still some moves to go, and obviously we certainly hope that one of those moves for the Cleveland Browns is going to be to get Quinshon Judkins in here. But a year after you had 27 players claimed in the National Football League, that's what it was a year ago. Mm-hmm. This year, let's see what the total is. You got 2 for Carolina, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and then Tennessee with 4 of them, 28. So right at it. Right at this number, 28 claims this year. The Browns have made 2 of them. We knew they were going to add a running back, Raheem Sanders. They also added a defensive back, Jarek Bernard Converse, out of LSU. So a corner and a running back were added.
It fits the bill of what they look for. These guys were SEC players. Raheem Sanders started at Arkansas. Was a 1,500-yard rusher a couple of years ago. Played 3 years at Arkansas and then played last year at South Carolina. Ran for about 800 yards last year, 4.8 a carry, but was over 6 as a sophomore year at Arkansas. So had that. He had the size that you're looking for. You had to have a hammer. So that would seem to be the reason that he is coming in here. And that leads to, of course, the obvious, which is, any sort of timetable on Quinshon Judkins. And that
Let's go.
I was listening to Shefty this morning, and somebody asked him directly, like, will Quinshon Judkins be on the Browns for opening day? And he said no. That was his feeling on it, that he wouldn't be. So,
well, that's great. That just seems like a major fail. The guy was the 36th pick in the draft.
I know. Yeah. Now
he's the only second-round pick in this draft that will not be on a team's week 1 roster.
He did follow that
injured.
Right back up with saying, if you would have told me on Saturday that the Trey Hendrickson thing would be done on Monday, I would have said no. So the reality in this business is it just takes one phone call and for someone to acquiesce, and then that changes. But his feeling was that no.
I wonder once he starts missing game checks, because that's what happens when you don't play.
Here's the thing on that, though. I don't know that it wasn't like
it's
Jeremiah's
different.
making, but he definitely made upwards of a couple $1 million last year at Ohio State. So he's not he's those type of things that you could hold over a player. I don't, in the case of him, who was a marquee back who took advantage of NIL, not just at Ole Miss, but bigly last year at Ohio State, he might have a couple $1 million laying around. Probably does.
For sure.
So I don't know that in the old days, you're right. That is a crippling one. All of a sudden you're not getting paid and you're like, wait, what is going on? Well, they have a little bit of cushion now built in because of the NIL situation in college football.
Let me do some quick math. 17 games over 4 seasons, 68. It's basically $170,000 a game.
Yeah. It's not nothing.
I know a lot of people who are willing to throw away $170,000.
No.
A week.
No, you're right.
So that will be, I think, ultimately, because Jaden Higgins was signed right around him, right? And that's who I use as the comp. He's $11.7 million over 4 years, which would be broken down to $172,058 per game. So that's nothing to sneeze at.
No.
By the way, that adds up pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
You go through 4 of those, and now you're at $680,000.
Yep.
You go through 3 of those, you're at $500,000. So that, to me, that's a tough scenario, and that's not a scenario that anybody wants. Now, what's going to be interesting for the Browns now is to see they've got to cut 2 players, which we always knew. I still think one will likely come from the tight end room. Just feels like 4 tight ends was a definite surprise. That was the one thing that completely caught me by surprise. Mm-hmm. And then the corner room, will it be a corner for a corner? That's what we'll see. But
yeah,
you've got a situation here, for the Browns where I didn't expect it to be huge. 2 was actually probably one of the bigger hauls in a while for this football team. But again, if it happens that a veteran is released for one of these guys, because they're both rookies, right? Raheem Sanders was an undrafted free agent. He led the Chargers with 101 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns in the preseason, now under 4 yards carry. But he's 6'2", 220. He is a big
banger.
back. That's what they were looking for. That's what they go out, and that's what they get.
Yeah, Jarek Bernard Converse, who was the corner they claimed from the Jets, he has 2 years of NFL experience. He played 23 and 24.
Okay, so not
Jets,
a rookie. Okay.
Out of LSU. He's a 6th-round pick out of LSU in 2023.
Are you surprised that Audric Estime, big guy, obviously was a very
really
good
good
college player,
yeah.
but has not been an NFL success?
Boy, I don't. It would be silly for me to comment on that because I don't know what happened day to day there.
Sure,
but coming out of Notre Dame, and if he did in fact get cut and was unclaimed, that's the case, right? Did we go through all of this? He's not on any of these lists.
No.
Yeah, that's a surprise to me. It's a bit of a surprise, but you never know. I mean, but that's the other thing. One thing that I think that's been abundantly clear, and it's never been more clear other than been made abundantly clear over the last month, is that there is a perception of what happens outside of buildings.
Oh, yeah.
That is so different than the reality that happens inside the building. Now, you and I are inside the building, right? So we have the real truth here, Bootsy. And if you think about what everything that's transpired here in the last month, my hunch, and that was magnified because of the people who were involved in it, my hunch is that similar situations are happening all over the league where there is realities behind closed doors that don't at all match up with the perception outside.
That is the
truest
statement
it's all
ever.
over the place.
What is this?
I didn't get the memo on this.
What is this?
Oh, I don't like that.
What is this?
What is this?
What is this? What is this? Yeah. Podes.
Podes.
Bum wheel? Heavy
Podes
wrap?
with a bum wheel. I don't like that.
And that doesn't look like his first day on crutches. That was he had a strong gait there.
Did you ever have that as a kid where you wanted crutches to just, and then all of a sudden as soon as you try them, you're like, oh, this sucks so bad?
The good news is I never really had to.
No, I haven't either. I never had anything lower body injury that required it.
No.
Never. All right. So as we, I suppose what we ought to do is go over the original 53 release from yesterday.
Okay.
What jumps out? Obviously, the headline in terms of, I don't believe we had that, was the tight end and the fact that they kept 4 protected.
No, I thought even they might get away with 2. I thought the 2 running backs we'd said yesterday was certainly in play, but I thought they would maybe try. I thought 3 tight ends is the number it'll settle on, and I'll be curious to see if that's where that move comes from. One of the things they do sometimes in situations like this is they keep a guy they think that maybe could get picked up, but once teams kind of go through the first round and you cut them, you have a better chance usually of getting them back to your practice squad at that point. So we'll see. I think that will be that'll be an interesting one. But yeah, the 4 tight ends, that was certainly a shocker to me.
25-25.
25-25. And that is because, and we did allude to this yesterday, because of all the injuries at linebacker, because 2 guys who were going to be on your 53, which were Buki Watson and Winston Reed. Buki Watson's on IR for the year. Winston Reed's on IR to come back after 4 games. Mm-hmm. You end up with Easton Mascarenas-Arnold making it, so that gives you, at that point, right, 5 linebackers. So that's where you picked up 1 on the defensive side. We had the 10-10. We thought it would be 10-6-10. Mm-hmm. 10 D-line, 10 DBs, 6. So now you're going to add this corner. So right now, I would say it's a nervy time for Dom Jones, or Miles Harden, or Cam Mitchell. I mean, it's going to be one of those 3, or they decide they're going to go 6 corners, and at this point they think, okay, maybe after the cuts have all happened, if we cut Easton Mascarenas-Arnold, we can get him back to the practice squad. He'll be really, in essence, our 5th linebacker just on the practice squad. So that's where these are kind of the tough situations. Now you're looking at guys they think that they probably can get away with cutting that will come back to them if they do so.
Yeah, that's look, this is the last, and I said this yesterday. These are the last spots on rosters. I mean, these are the very bottom of the roster that you're dealing with here. To me, it's more what I think is more interesting about it is how do Andrew Berry, Kevin Stefanski, and the people who are their counterparts around the league, what do they feel are the strengths and weaknesses of their teams? Where are their depths? Where are their concerns? Where are their injuries? You saw a flood of deals yesterday. More deals are happening today. This is how it's going to go here for the next few days. But quite honestly, nothing that's going to happen yesterday or today is going to determine the outcome of a team, save for Micah Parsons not playing in Dallas or playing in Dallas. I mean, those are the ones that determine how a team goes in 2025. The hold-ins, those are the ones to pay attention to on that. That's why McLaurin getting done, Hendrickson getting done. Those are big signings to get those things done and put them in the rearview mirror. And the only one of those I think you're waiting on is Micah. Or not Micah, I'm sorry, Micah.
Yep.
And then the other thing you're waiting on is their penalties doled out. So the Rashee Rice thing today. And then obviously the other thing around the league that's uncertain at this point is Quinshon. I mean, that's hanging over all of this. Like we've heard nothing in terms of any idea of where this is going or why it's taking so long to get it done, or if there's more to it than what it feels like on the surface. Who knows? But that's still out there.
Yes, and it is. I think I probably speak for everybody. It's frustrating.
It is.
This is a frustrating situation. And you go back to the fact that this was like the kick in the gut when we finally came back from quote-unquote summer break, and then it's going to be, okay, here we go, training camp. What was it? We came back on a Monday, and that came out on like a Friday. Mm-hmm. And that was that. Going back to Quinshon Judkins being involved in that and not being here was probably, of all the people not named Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward, probably the worst person that it could have happened to on this team. Because, number one, he comes in from the Buckeyes, where they had just won a national championship. Number two, we're going back to our identity as a run-heavy football team. This legend is no longer here, and this was supposed to be a guy drafted basically in the exact same spot.
Yep.
That this was supposed to be the guy to be that heir apparent and be really the foundation of our offense.
Yep.
And by the way, if you were out here in OTAs or in minicamp, you were like, yeah,
he's in.
I see it.
Mm-hmm.
And then poof, gone. Hicks, poof, gone. MJ, poof, gone in a very sad injury. Mm-hmm. But the Quinshon one is so massive. Now, the guy they brought in, his nickname is Rocket. I like a nickname like Rocket.
Yeah.
He's a big guy, 225, 230, 6'2", and runs a 4.46. So this is a big guy with speed. Now, we didn't have a huge yards per carry average in the preseason, but led their team, as I said, put 130 total yards, 2 touchdowns, was a fan favorite of the Chargers fans because I think he runs a very physical style.
Yeah.
So he's going to have an opportunity to step in here and do it. Jarek Bernard-Converse, cornerback prospect in the 2023 draft, big RAS guy, relative athletics, score 9.77. They like him. 4.40, big, can jump. So that
nice
it fits
athlete,
the profile. Yeah, they got a couple of guys that are pretty good, darn good athletes. So we'll see. You know, the Browns have made moves like this at times, like whether it was a Khalifa. Oh man, negotiate deals. Look at the chocolate down there. Look at that chocolate.
Gosh.
It's like a rich mahogany.
The thing is, you can't just stop at the pant or what's on the wrist or the jacket. You have to take it all in.
It's almost too much of this.
It's too much. It's a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday.
I mean, we don't even play this week.
No, we don't play.
I mean, come on.
So, anyway, this is not going to be like we've signed Khalif Halassi at this point, right? Mm-hmm. We've signed a bunch of people at this point. This isn't like the big needle mover. You hope you can find a diamond in the rough here, but this is a Browns team right now with the Quinshon Judkins situation that is not where it wants to be running the ball. Now, Jerome Ford last year, 5.2 yards carry. I like Dylan Sampson, but this is not where they really thought that this team was going to be, certainly what this run game was going to look like at all.
No. And that one is still hanging out there. What are your when you look at this initial 53 that dropped yesterday at 311, what are some of your favorite stories?
From like making a 53 team?
Yeah. I mean, Gage jumps to me. I mean, he's kind of been one of the stories.
To me, Aiden Huntington is
incredible. Aiden,
all you want.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing the interview yesterday, talking about how he showed up in one of the Baldy's breakdowns and how that was like the coolest thing ever. And we found out that he worked out with Miles over the summer. He's a good one. You know, there have been a lot. Brianne Body Calhoun. I go back. That's like in the Wayback Machine. Was a great story. Who made it as an undrafted free agent. Taylor Gabriel was a great story. guy came into our rookie tryout and then ends up getting into camp and then makes the team and ends up going on to have a very nice career and make a good bit of money. He signed a pretty big deal down in Atlanta where he went with Kyle.
Yep.
Followed Kyle there. Those are definitely some good ones. Some tough ones were like when, but also we love the Scottish Hammer, but like Scottish Hammer and Cole. Like that's a tough situation. Like D-Hop just gone. I don't know if we'll get a chance to say goodbye to him. Love D-Hop as a human being. So that's the stuff that's so hard about it. And it's often these things that like you're excited. Oh, this guy made it. You're excited for this guy. Dearness Johnson was one.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Dearness Johnson was a great one. It just unfortunately it's rare that it has a major impact on what you're doing. But when you can find somebody that can become a contributor, going back to my early career, Tashawn Gibson was. When you're led the league in interceptions, that a very long career. You might even still be in the league for
a long
crying out
run.
loud.
Yeah.
It was a safety. So those, when you find those, that's huge. And this is, look, we've said it in many ways with where we're at. This team needs to have a kind of a transformative rookie class. And now, depending on where these releases come, we could be up to as many as 14 rookies. And I'm still counting Quinshon Judkins because I do believe that he is going to be back. But you could have as many as 14 of those guys back, and we'll see what that ends up looking like, right? Like this is a young team, and then it's got though a sprinkling of older established players, Pro Bowl players. Where you're talking about Myles Garrett, where you're talking about Joel Bitonio, Wyatt Teller, Jack Conklin, Joe Flacco, for crying out loud, is our quarterback at 40 years of age.
Denzel Ward,
Chief Denzel. Malik Collins, who's a total veteran now that's come in here. Jerome Baker is a veteran.
I think when ownership said that we're in transition, this roster is a transitional roster.
Yeah,
you have, to your point, 14 first-year guys, but then the smattering of like what I would almost refer to as like ultra veterans.
Yep.
And it's you're trying to put it all together and find a recipe for success. And one thing that we had talked about a lot. The other thing that is, and this is and we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but just the way that I thought they were going to go about their business offensively 8 weeks ago compared to the way that I think they're going to go about their business now could not have been more different. The way that we got here is a wild thing, but this is going to be a different offense than the one I thought we were going to get in July. And because it was going to be Kenny and it was going to be Quinshon. And who knows?
And by the way, I'll be honest with you, without Quinshon, I think it almost had to be Flacco.
Yeah.
Because we're going to have to be more of a throwing team without Quinshon Judkins than we wanted to be before. Whereas I think Kenny fit much more in that, in the play action boot game and all of those things. So not only did he get hurt, now you don't have Quinshon here, at least as of now. And when you're like a young man, and this would have been not really necessarily our experience much, but I'll say for like the kids today, I guess when we were young, maybe we could be like on an AOL chat.
Yeah, I remember the AOL chat. Yeah.
And you like a girl and you send a message and you're just like refreshing to see if get a message back.
Yeah.
Like where's the message back? Like that's how I am refreshing news for like Quinshon. I'm just trying to will it out of pure will in my being. I'm trying to will it that he will be here.
Yeah. I was thinking potentially it could have happened yesterday by the initial 53. It didn't. And now that you do this deal for Raheem Sanders, I mean, that's your Band-Aid for the Quinshon problem at the moment.
Yep.
Is that. So you're kind of covering your bases on these things. We do not know like what's happening in those conversations. We know that there was a big deal with second-round picks and guaranteed money because of what Houston did, and that kind of forced a chain reaction around the league with second-round picks. But we also now have an incident. The other thing we don't know is the NFL's involvement in that incident.
I feel about it.
I know. I'm with you, but at the same time, like no one knows more than us how they can do whatever they want in those factors. So, that thing's just kind of hanging out there. And I do think that it's really important. Do you think the Kansas City NFL Rashee Rice situation, I'm sure we'll talk about at greater length later. But now at least Kansas City knows.
Totally. And I think
you can prepare for it. You know.
So this is Tom Pelissero. The NFL initially proposed a suspension of 10 to 12 games. Rice's team and attorneys fought for a much shorter ban, so it took a while, but now an answer. He will miss the first 6 games and be able to move forward with his career. Because originally it kind of sounded like it was going to be in limbo, and he was going to be, in the middle of the season get suspended. Now he's out for 6 weeks, but they know it, and everybody can move on. What I don't understand is that this incident with Quinshawn, we just talked about when we found out about it, happened prior to the start of training camp. This has been a very, very, very long training camp, right?
Yes.
So, 6 weeks ago, roughly, is when this happened? All the charges have been dropped for at least 2 weeks, because I want to say we were in
Philly. You guys were in Philly. It was Philly week because it was right going into that game, and there was some whisper that maybe he
was going to show up there.
Be around. Yeah.
So it's 2 weeks ago. Incident happened a month and a half ago. 2 weeks ago, all charges were dropped. Not a settlement. Charges were dropped.
Yep.
Based on the law enforcement saying that there was not enough to pursue charges.
Yeah.
What could be taking that long? It feels on some level that lots of these things are arbitrary anyway. Why can't we just be like, no games, 3 games?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I don't know. It's the only thing the NFL does that resembles the NCAA. The NCAA does this.
Yeah.
It takes them 6 years to adjudicate anything. You have the info. Let's go.
Yeah.
Get it done. Just at least you can plan for it then. Right? And I think that's the thing that gets really frustrating with all of these things. So, yeah, I mean, it's that part's sitting out there, and you just have no idea how it's gonna go. In terms of kind of the calendar for the rest of this, and today was waiver wire pick day, and we've gone through all of that. The team will hit the practice field in about an hour 10 minutes. They'll practice one more time on Thursday, and then they are off Friday through Sunday, and then next week it is game week, and away we go. So that's where that stands at this point. I think we covered most everything. In terms of the linemen, everything kind of seemed the way we thought it was going to be.
Yep.
We knew about Easton Mascarenas Arlen yesterday. The only thing was the 4 tight ends.
The 4 tight ends.
Kicker?
I mean, we basically said that's –
yeah.
Well, if you listen to you guys at the end of the radio call on Saturday, and you spoke about that drive and the ability to knock down that field goal, and you illustrated this yesterday, that's what that was about. I mean, that to me is kind of like the NFL preseason in a nutshell. We spend so much time at the top end of the sport, the Mahomes, Kelsey, Allen,
of course,
Lamar, Miles, all that stuff. But the other end of the sport is the last moments of a otherwise meaningless preseason game between the Cleveland Browns and the LA Rams, the Rams of which loosely participated in.
Yeah.
And you go and get a drive to set up a field goal to see if a guy in the most pressure-packed, odd situation of all time can bury it. And he did. If he misses the kick,
he cannot be your kicker.
He can't be your kicker.
So that was
his NFL life was on the line.
And he piped it.
And it was, if you didn't know, and I wasn't watching at that point, it was something I saw later when all of the conversation around the last drive and all of that. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. And you and I were texting. I'm like, because at that point I was done. I'd seen enough. I wanted to see Gabriel play. I wanted to see Sanders play. I saw that. I didn't need to see anything else at that point. I know that if you play the games, you want to win them. I get it. But to be honest, it doesn't matter to me. It matters to Kevin, the players, and all of those guys. But to me, I don't care. Win or lose in the preseason. I wanted to see the 2 rookie quarterbacks play. That's all I needed.
Well,
so once that was done, I was good.
The quarterback that led us on that game-winning drive just signed with the Ravens practice squad. Snoop Huntley.
He's just going to vacillate back.
He's going back and forth.
I mean, that's where he was.
That's where he went to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, for sure, Pro Bowler. But that's one of those instances of how crazy this league is. That the halves, we spend all the time talking about the halves, and rightfully so. That's where championships are decided. But the try to halves at the bottom, that one play switched the trajectory of 2 people's lives.
Yes.
One kick.
Yes. That's why that was big. I think that has a lot of big. That's why Snoop was in there. I think to get to that spot because they needed to see that. What bigger? There couldn't have been a bigger spot to put him in. Now, do you wish it was a 45-yard field goal? Mm-hmm. Maybe, but nonetheless, if the pressure was gonna get you, you were gonna miss from 35. Yeah. I mean, we had seen, unfortunately, we had seen D-Hop miss multiple extra points this preseason. That's a 30-yarder.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it was, when you signed the D-Hop, when you signed that
33-yarder, right? It's at the 15, so
15.
It's 8:33.
Yeah, something like that. You think about Charlie Hewitt and D-Hop and supplanted. And now you go with this new battery there we'll see. There's going to be a lot going on in NFL circles today. We'll keep you posted on it as it comes. Those are your hot topics today, presented by University Hospitals, official healthcare partner of your Cleveland Browns. You'll go from the podium coming up next. Coach Stefanski, his comments on the initial 53. We're off and running. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns on 850 ESPN Cleveland. More fun to your fandom with the Ballybet Sportsbook app. Download today. Get 50 back in bonus bets. You place your first wager of 10 or more. Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Now time to head to the podium, presented by Vivid Seats. Purchase your official fan experience package today for the ultimate game day. Here's Coach Stefanski, his first comments on the initial 53.
Kevin, the decision.
You're done.
What did that ultimately come down to? I mean, was that something that you guys sort of felt like? When did you sort of make that decision?
Yeah, first of all, these are tough decisions. They're not easy. And we work through these with a lot of information. And in this case, Andre has done a really nice job. He really won that job by being very consistent. Really, Dustin's somebody that I really admire as a person, admire as a player. Doesn't change any of that, how I feel about him, but really felt good about the work that Andre's put into this camp and really going all the way back to the spring.
I know it was a whole body of work for him, but how important was that last field goal?
Yeah, I think all of it matters, Tony. Obviously, it's hard to replicate a game winner, as you know, so it all matters. I think the big thing about these decisions is these are ongoing evaluations that we try to take in as much information as possible, and that's going back to work that we did in the spring, work that we certainly did in the summer. But to your point, those are moments in football games and where you want to come through for your team, and Andre did.
What about with Andre? Just the fact that he's never kicked in an NFL game. Like how do you go about evaluating that body of work when you don't have that?
And until you've done something, you haven't done it type thing. So have a ton of confidence in him. He's a young man that's been through a lot, and we trust him.
Kevin, just final. Now in retrospect, how important was it for you to set that up? The Huntley thing and then to set up that pressure.
Yeah, I wish I was that talented, Tony. Yeah, I guess it goes back to this is a evaluation that is ongoing. It encompasses a lot of things.
Kevin, what went into the trade for Kenny Pickett, and what does that maybe say about the faith that you have in your two rookie quarterbacks to back up Joe this year?
Honestly, those type of things, you can't predict them, and got a strong offer for Kenny. Kenny's a guy I think very highly of, and so do they. So I wish him well. He's a great person. He's a really good football player. But those are the type of decisions that you have to make.
And have you made a decision on who will back up Joe?
Dylan will be the backup.
Yeah, but struck with Brett might be the wrong word, but that Kenny didn't really get a chance because of that injury.
Yeah, yes, definitely disappointed for Kenny in that he was out for all that time. Like I told you guys, he performed well prior to that, remained engaged all throughout that. So disappointed for him, but he's somebody that I think very highly of.
Could you reassure your fans that there will be more than two running backs on this team?
There will be more than two running backs on this team.
Hey, Kevin, with the decision to trade Kenny, how much of that was impacted by Dylan giving you the trust that he can be one step away when he gets released?
I think you factor in everything, Scott. Truly, you look at it from a bunch of different angles. So certainly we made the decision and feel comfortable with Dylan serving in that role.
We saw Michael past his physical. What does that mean? And when can he start? When we see him on the field?
I don't know the exact day that he's going to be back out here. I mean, he's doing great. I got to watch him work out yesterday. He looks really good. He's right where he needs to be, and he's worked extremely hard in this rehab. So I'm excited about where he is, and we'll see where he is as the next couple days unfold.
I know it's a body of work for Dylan going all the way back to when you first got him here, but did that 2-minute drive at the end of that game sort of convince you that you guys could part ways with Kenny?
It kind of goes back to the previous discussion. It's such a all-encompassing evaluation. So everything the guys did in the games was important. We also saw a lot of them out here in practice and how they are at their craft. And he's certainly somebody that we think is getting better and better.
I know you're in the business of winning games and not so much in the feel-good stories, but you have one in Gage Martin, the way he was able to, make this team. Just what have you seen from him, and just what does it say about him, and also the organization that this guy is able to make an NFL 53?
I think there's examples every year, and Gage is certainly a great example of guys that maybe come in and aren't as highly touted, and you're undrafted sometimes, or you're at a tryout sometimes, and there's guys that have been through different things in their collegiate career, and the beauty of this sport is that you get guys here and they make plays, and you can watch a guy develop, and he's somebody really from the jump that has made plays in every practice and every game. So we're excited for him. He's a quiet kid, works very, very, very hard, diligent about getting better. So those are the type of kids that you're rooting for.
Is there a skill, Kevin, and you as a coach and your staff, to not overlook a guy like that when you have 90 guys in camp?
I don't know about skill. I think for me, Jeff, there's so much practice time. There's so many meetings. There's so many times to evaluate our players. And sometimes when you see a guy that shows up and continues to make plays, it makes it cements what maybe your evaluation of the player.
Kevin, how did the fact that Deshaun Watson is coming along really well in his rehab, how did that factor into maybe you guys feeling comfortable with letting Kenny go?
Yeah, I wouldn't comment to say or that Mary Kay. Deshaun's doing awesome. I mean, he's doing great. I'm excited for him. I get to watch him work out as well. I get to be in the meeting room with him every single day, so he's doing great.
Kevin, how much, I'd say-so influence you have with the practice squad? Like, do you tell Andrew, I need 2 running backs, I need 2 tackles?
We see it very similarly, Tony. We have those conversations of what do we feel like we need to have the best practice squad where you can get your work done on the field, but also you have developmental guys. So we're in lockstep on that.
Kevin, how big is this kind of gap week between the end of the preseason and the start of the regular season, just to kind of allow guys like Ethan or Blake or Mike to kind of have an opportunity to heal without kind of that the pressure of of immediacy of a game coming up?
Obviously, having this week and then going into the weekend with the time off is helpful with injuries and guys getting fresh over the weekend, but we view this week as an opportunity for us to get sharp as a football team, and that's in our scheme, that's in our techniques, that's in our fundamentals. So the guys are working very hard yesterday, today. We'll have a couple more days out here this week. So this is a big week for your football team when you're getting ready for a 17-plus season.
You talked about Aiden and then Gage earlier. What stood out about Easton, Dom, and Donovan, a couple other undrafted guys that they were able to stick out enough to make it?
It's been a really impressive rookie class in terms of their preparedness, their professionalism. Each one of those guys kind of represents that. They've from the jump been about their business, have been trustworthy. We've put them in some tough spots, and they've responded. So it's an impressive group in that regard.
Given Schmidt's inexperience, you think it'd be wise to bring a practice squad kicker?
Working through all those things.
What about Deontay? Was he someone that a tough decision for you guys, considering he was a Pro Bowl receiver?
They're all tough decisions. I really like Tay. I was impressed with the work that he put in. These are tough decisions. These are not easy decisions.
I didn't see Shelby out there. Does he have an injury?
He's out here.
Today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is the expectation that Dylan Sampson will be your starting running back going into week 4?
We'll see. Yeah, I like the group we got.
Is there any update on Quinshon Judkins?
No update.
Good.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, there you go, Coach from the podium. Presented by Vivid Seats. Purchase your official fan experience packages today for the ultimate game day. We'll go around the league coming up next. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Browns fans, the Battle of Ohio coming to Huntington Bank Field. Your Browns take on the Bengals Sunday, September 7th. You can be a part of it. Don't miss a chance to get in on the action. We kick off the 2025 season with that home opener. Secure your seats now at clevelandbrowns.com/Bengals on that side of things. We go around the league from Adam Schefter. The NFL is aiming for at least a potential 6-game suspension of Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice for violating the league's personal conduct policy. The suspension now kicks in week 1. Did this ever go final, or is this still being negotiated?
It sounds like he's settling for this because Schefter put this all out and then said it appears he and his camp are going to agree to this. So it doesn't look, there's nothing I think that says it's final, but.
Yeah, so they're negotiating this out. NFL want to be bigger. It's coming back a little bit less, but from Kansas City's perspective, at least you know, and you can plan for it. And that's the thing for them that's nice, is at least they know what that is. It is amazing, like, aside from the Travis Kelce stuff yesterday, like the Chiefs you've heard nothing. I mean, all anybody's talking about is the Bills and the Ravens and, chase it, trying to, if not now, win those teams. And here's Kansas City, who the only time they lose in the playoffs is to Joe Burrow once or Tom Brady. Last year to Jalen Hurts. Other than that, they're in the Super Bowl all the time and win it most times. And it's just quiet. And they've quietly added weapons. Like the amount of weapons they have. They took a lot of bites at the apple at weapons, outside, at receiver, their running back room, all of it. They got a lot of weaponry on that team. And I talked to somebody from Kansas City a couple of weeks ago, and they're like, oh, they've taken note of all of that. And they're pretty confident that you're going to get an offense that more resembles what they were a couple of years ago than last year.
Do they think Xavier Worthy is ready to be like?
I drafted him. So after talking to the guy, I had him on my list of he feels like the one that's going to
especially
burst.
with Rashee Rice out for those 6 games now.
Yeah. He feels like he could.
I also think Kelsey's going to have a nice comeback.
Their team got suspended yesterday. The commissioner did hand down a couple things yesterday. I know one of them was the Texans guys not allowed to practice or go to games. There was something. I thought there was another incident with a Chiefs player that was maybe suspended for a game or 2.
I didn't see it, Gibby. I mean, it could be. There was so much going on. There was so much going on yesterday. I did not see it.
I'll keep looking.
But nothing would surprise. The Adam Thielen deal happens. Vikings and Panthers get it done. Thielen back to Minnesota. Conditional 7th-round pick and a 2027 fifth. The Panthers get a 2026 fifth and a 2027 fourth. You guys were there. Is this a Jimmy Horn situation? Is that why they did this, Carolina?
No, they like Coker.
Okay.
Jalen Coker. So it's going to be McMillan, Leggett, and Coker, who had a touchdown against us. He's the one who caught the touchdown from Bryce Young against us. I think they realize they are not ready this year, so getting an asset for Thielen and giving a younger guy an opportunity to play is probably not a terrible thing, right?
So essentially they move up 2 rounds from 7 to 5, and then from 5 to 4 in order to give up Thielen is what it amounts to.
So just real quick.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe they're just not quite as close as.
So Coker last year, he had 32 catches, 470 yards, 2 touchdowns, average 14.9 a catch, 6'3", 213 from Holy Cross.
How about that?
He must have been undrafted.
Jeez, not a lot of NFL guys from there.
No.
Short list.
Yeah, he must have been an undrafted player, but he looked good while we were there, and I think he's the one that's going to get more opportunity.
And this allows Minnesota to kind of hold it over until Addison comes back. He's out the first 3 games.
So they'll have Jalen Naylor
Yeah.
and Addison and Thielen with
JJ
and Hawkinson and Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason. They've got some.
They're totally set up if JJ's good.
They've got some dudes.
Just a big bet on a kid who we haven't seen.
Yeah.
Obviously they like him a lot. They were ready to make him the starter last year before the injury happened. So a little bit of a background on that. Anthony Walker, our old buddy, working out for his other former team, the Indianapolis Colts. This next one is one of those ones where I remember the lead up to this draft, and I remember saying Just you and I talking about this, just not Baltimore. Just not Baltimore.
Same thing was like with Patrick Queen. They do
Queen,
it every year.
They do it every year to us.
It's crazy.
Lamar
Lamar
was the original. Yes, we're like, and the Lamar one. You and I weren't doing. We didn't even know each other at that time. But the whole thing was like,
I wasn't sure that draft live.
I wasn't sure what Lamar would be, but I knew that I didn't want to find out in the division.
Go elsewhere. yeah, same.
The one we're referring to is Kyle Hamilton.
Ugh.
He got 4 years, $100 million, largest in NFL history, 82 million guaranteed.
And Kyle Hamilton. Now again, I love the fact that we won that game, and I do believe that Jim Donovan from up above played a role in us winning that game. But had Kyle Hamilton caught a pass that was thrown right to him that he catches 100 times out of 100, we would have had the number 1 pick in the draft this year.
Oh, God. Yeah, you're right.
I know.
I hadn't thought of it that way.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the most
Friday.
One of the more improbable wins of all time.
Yes.
And one
we went on to
from
beat
above.
the Steelers, and maybe when we don't beat the Steelers in the Snow Globe game, we still have the number 1 pick. But that was one that he catch. If that ball's thrown to him 1 million times, I think he catches it 999,999, and that was the one.
That was the one. Yeah.
Maybe he catches it 999,998. Maybe there are 2 drops, but that was one of them.
I remember saying something to the effect of, "You cannot tell me that wasn't Jim Donovan." There was just no way that it wasn't. And the other thing that was crazy about that is it was probably the easiest interception he's had since Pop Warner. Like, he could have fair caught it.
Yeah. And he caught it like 3 different times.
Yeah. It's crazy, like how that happens. But so they get him done. 4 years, $100 million on that. The Patriots releasing wide receiver Kendrick Bourne after his request for his release. Mike Vrabel cleaned house. There aren't many Belichick draftees left. So they're doing a complete reset in New England. They're huge on Drake May. We'll see. But Mike is building that in his own image in New England.
I didn't get a chance to add this to our list of things around the league today, but the NFL has quietly relaxed Tom Brady's restrictions from a TV analyst standpoint.
Yep, they're going to let him go into the
He's now allowed to be in the production meetings, but
and
remotely.
And as he should be.
That's not a big deal, I don't think.
And he's allowed to interview players off-site.
I think the far bigger problem is, quite honestly, if you want to know the big problem is, he shouldn't be in the booth.
Correct.
Yes.
I mean, let's start there. Like, forget the qualifiers. Like, you shouldn't have somebody who is and he's not like, I mean, this isn't like Woodson here, who's a part of ownership, but we haven't seen Charles.
Yep.
I mean, since that's happened, have we seen him?
I don't know if I don't think we have.
I know I haven't. Maybe it happened on a day I was off or something. I don't remember ever seeing him in the building. Tom Brady is active in the Las Vegas Raiders, and the way they're being put together, the way they're being constructed, it's known that he's active in free agent pitches and draft and all of this. He just should not be on an NFL broadcast.
No.
Pick one.
No, you're an owner.
Either this or you're that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm amazed that he's still doing it.
It's a lot of money.
Not for me. I'm allowed. The league could be like,
oh, that perspective.
Owning the Raiders is worth a lot of money.
It is.
So
yeah,
one
do that
or the other. Like, I think he could do something like the Manning cast. Now that you wouldn't compete with them, but I'm saying like that I would have no problem. But like being a network broadcaster,
he broadcasting the Super Bowl.
I know. And the other thing is, and maybe it takes time. He's not that great at it.
No.
The Greg Olson should be the number 1 guy at Fox.
Yeah, but that's not what that job's about. That job is shaking hands and kissing babies with advertisers. That's that job. That job, in the old days, that was the job at Fox that I mean, what are the biggest shows? That's Jack Bauer.
Yeah.
But I mean, before that even, like in the old days with the old network TV, when you do the upfronts and you're at NBC, you bring Tom Brokaw, you bring Jerry Seinfeld, Ted Danson. That's What? Okay, advertisers. This is NBC. You bring the guys from ER. This is NBC.
I love that Jerry Seinfeld is Jerry Seinfeld because, like, when you say that, you're like, oh, Jerry Seinfeld, the guy from Seinfeld. But he is Jerry Seinfeld.
He is. Yeah, same guy.
Yeah, same guy.
Same guy.
Jerry.
Yeah, he's not Sam Malone.
But all of that's over. So, like, these guys are the faces of networks. That's when they paid Brady that money. They paid Romo that money. It wasn't because it wasn't for broadcasting football games. It was you're the face of a network.
Yeah.
So, like, there isn't nightly news anymore. There aren't shows the way that there used to be shows that everybody watched.
Yeah.
All those things are different now.
Look at B. Rossi out there getting his
What's he got going on?
getting his water. Looks like he's got a fresh helmet up there.
He does look like he's got a fresh
Army of people with boxes
Just
walking
boxes
by.
everywhere. Lots of boxes. What's going on?
So the Bengals have 14 practice squad guys. How's that possible already?
14?
Yeah. Ben Baby just put him out.
My guess
and
is
the
one of
14th
them
is Brett Rippon.
one of them is an international pathways player. Oh, they can have 16. You're saying how did they already have 15?
Yeah, what I'm saying is like
what did they act so quickly?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a linebacker on here. There is no way in you-know-what that I'm going to try to actually pronounce that. And I mean no way.
No chance.
There's no I don't even know. Yeah. I mean
Yeah, so there you go.
J-Mag doesn't know either.
Yeah, we won't hold you to it.
No.
All right, there you go. That's everything around the league. So in terms of things you're waiting on league-wide, you're waiting for Micah Parsons. Oh, you did get the details on McLaurin. I believe you had that.
44 million or 45 guaranteed.
Yeah.
It's not even actually truly 30 a year in new money.
No.
It's not close to DK Metcalf. It's right where he should have been. And it basically is a wink, wink. You get to say you have this big contract and he doesn't. But it's fine. It's appropriate for him. He's happy about it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Good.
Everybody wins, but it's not
exactly
resetting anything or nothing like that.
No.
Not in that vicinity.
It's exactly what it should be because he's not a top 10 receiver. He's also not receiver 21 to 32.
No.
He's right there, and that's how he got paid.
Yeah, he's right where he was compensated and where he will continue to be compensated. Second hour of the program up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, enter the Dog Dash Sweepstakes presented by Milkbone. Your chance to have your pup compete in the annual dog races during the halftime of the Browns-Dolphins game, October 19th. Grand prizes include 2 season tickets for the 26th season, Milkbone for a year. Visit clevelandbrowns.com/milkbone for more. If you're just joining us, 2 waiver claims for your Cleveland Browns. Raheem Sanders, rookie running back out of South Carolina by way of Arkansas. He comes into the mix. Size there, 6 foot plus, 220 plus, bit of a banger.
Not shifty, but
shifty.
he can go north south, and he's got speed. He can run away from you, run through you, and that's obviously what he is going to attempt to do.
He was a nearly a 1,500-yard rusher his sophomore season at Arkansas, averaged 6.5 a carry. By the looks of this, he must have got hurt his junior year at Arkansas and then transferred to South Carolina last year. 881 yards, nearly 5 yards a carry, 11 touchdowns. He was on the Chargers in the preseason and was a bit of a fan favorite there. So the running back room there is your big back. The other thing that we added was Jarek Bernard-Converse, the corner out of LSU. He played 2 seasons with the Jets, played in 15 games over 2 years with the Jets, and a total of 7 tackles. So a bigger corner out of LSU, so he fits the profile of kind of the type of things that we're looking for. If you just think of it, these are not apples-to-apples trade-outs, but if you think about Jarek Bernard-Converse, kind of his size, it matches a little bit with MJ, and then obviously with Raheem Sanders matches with Quinshon. Yeah. Obviously, Quinshon's a second-round pick. MJ is MJ.
Sure.
So you're never going to be able to replace those guys apples for apples. But body-wise, type-wise, these would fit those bills.
And they're looking for athletes, and that's kind of just the pedigree, SEC guys, as you talked about. And listen, we're not going to get MJ Emerson back this year, unfortunately.
No.
We hopefully will get Quinshon Judkins this year.
Yeah.
So these guys are there. You're right now in your cornerback room. You've got Denzel Ward as as sure a thing as can be. Greg Newsome has been solid for you, but there have been ups and downs, and you're going to need him to be back like he was in 2023, 2 picks, 14 passes defense, his best season. You're going to need that guy. And then beyond that, it's competition. It's competition because you don't have anybody who's got the pelts on the wall that say, okay, yeah, this is my job, or there's nobody just walking into a job. So, and it may well be for the Browns that if Cam Mitchell, who I still think will get first crack at it, but if Cam Mitchell or if Miles Harden, if they can't secure that, I do think it opens the outside for Dom Jones if he is not 1-for-1 replaced here, but for guys like that to maybe be the third corner, be outside and kicks Greg back inside. We've always been looking at it as, no, it's just going to be, the outside guys being Greg and Denzel, and then we need a nickel. Now, Greg's been a very good nickel for us, so perhaps it is almost as simple as, do we go the route of finding another outside corner who comes in those nickel situations and kicking Greg back in?
Yeah. Something to watch for sure. One of the stories of cut down day and the initial 53 was new kicker Andre Schmidt. What a story. What a kind of came out of nowhere this preseason. That last kick in the game here against the Rams sealed his fate in terms of being an NFL player. He was available from the podium yesterday. Let's listen to that now, presented by Vivid Seats. Push your official fan experience package today for the ultimate game day. New Browns kicker Andre Schmidt.
Andre, Kevin talked about your body of work being the reason you won the job. I mean, just talk about that going back to even last year when you were here for that week on the practice squad.
Yeah, I've been working on my craft for a while now, so no, haven't changed anything up, and steadily working at it, and it's been paying off.
What was it like that moment you found out you made the 53?
Yeah, it was exciting, of course, but I'm kind of already focused on week 1 and preparing and staying on my course and my process, like I talked about.
Was it nervous time when you were waiting for that call, or how would you describe that?
Yeah, of course. I think it's a little nerve-wracking, but it's also exciting at the same time. You don't know what the future has, and you put all your work in, and then whatever happens, it happens. So,
for you, how big was that last drive on Saturday? Just to at least get to go through it in a real game, or a game setting instead of just, kind of fire drill out here in practice.
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, obviously I've had game winners before in my past, not in the NFL level, but they're always exciting. You feel the same kind of like adrenaline, but then you're also super locked in, and like game winners are a special kind of beast. I mean, you're so locked in, you kind of space out and you just go out there and you just do your thing, and it was exciting to get it done. I mean, couldn't have done it without Rex and Corey and the offense getting me in field goal range, and made my job a lot easier.
Did you know that you were going to have that chance on that last drive?
Yeah, I was aware that I was going to be coming in at the second half to do the kicking duties, so I was preparing, got my kicks in at halftime, got my kicks in pregame, and I was ready to go.
Andre, how have Corey and Rex really just helped you along, and how have you guys built that chemistry as a unit, and knowing how important that is in the game?
Yeah, it's super important, and I mean, they're like the best guys ever, so we have such a tight-knit group, and I'm just super excited to still be here with these guys.
It's tough to see anybody leave. Dustin, obviously, getting his contract terminated today. He should get the job. So, I mean, for you, working with him, what did he mean to you, and what did he maybe impart on you before he was?
Yeah, I mean, he meant a lot to me, and he's like one of the best guys like I've ever met, and we briefly caught each other in the locker room, and we said some nice words to each other, and I'm always going to be rooting for him, and I know he'll be doing the same for me, so I have nothing but love for him and respect.
Who's the first person you called when you got the news?
I called my girlfriend, and then my dad and my sister.
Did you think that last kick, just seeing that Dustin missed one earlier in the game on an extra point, did you have any extra pressure thinking that last kick could be the difference?
No, I don't really think about it. I just treat every rep as its own, and going out there, I have one opportunity the whole game, so I just want to capitalize and make the most of those opportunities.
Andre, when you that last drive in the Rams game, were you told get ready if we're kicking it's going to be you?
Yeah, I was aware before the game that I would have the second half, so I was
in the second half.
I was preparing at halftime and stuff, and I knew I was in the net every drive we had on offense that second half.
Making that kick won you the job.
I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I just try to put my best foot forward and have my process and just do my job, treat every kick as its own.
Would you like to change jersey numbers now?
I haven't given it much thought, honestly. We'll see, maybe.
Dustin reach out to you at all after?
I saw him briefly in the locker room, and we exchanged some words with each other, and there's nothing but positive things on both ends. And like I said, I just wish him the best and everything.
I'm sorry if you already answered this, but just your emotions of going from kicking a game winner on Saturday, being in that situation, to finding out today that you're going to be the week one kicker.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of emotion that goes into it. There's so much uncertainty in the NFL, and I'm just super grateful to still be here, and I'm going to take advantage of every opportunity I get, and put my best foot forward.
So many kickers talk about the process. What does your process look like to make sure that you're the same guy every time?
Yeah, I mean, just keeping level-headed, not letting the big moments get too big and not letting the bad moments get too bad. Trying to stay even, and that's what I really worked on. I mean, growing up and just going through the kicking journey, so to speak. And yeah, just being older and more mature just helps a lot.
In the offseason, how did you, I guess, work with Corey and he gets the ball kind of loose and everything, like what you like, what he likes, and how that helps you in the kicking game? I guess, how did you work through those details?
Yeah, I feel like every kicker likes their own kind of lean and stuff, and how the hand looks when it's snaps coming and everything. We talked about it, and he's a great holder, and Rex is a great snapper, so makes his job easy, and then makes my job easy too.
With the change in the kickoff rules the past couple of years, more so this year, just how has that changed? Because it used to be just put the ball out the end zone, start at the 30, now with landing zones and bounce kicks and everything.
Yeah.
How much has it changed?
Yeah, it's changed a lot, obviously. I think it's going to be interesting to see what teams do. I think it's obviously a much more finesse kind of kick now, so we'll see what happens.
How's Bubba's instructions just been throughout camp on just going through all those?
Kickoffs, you mean, or field goals? I don't know if I'm allowed to necessarily spill.
Just how just going through all scenarios and everything. How has he been?
Yeah, I mean, as kickers ourselves, I don't think Bubba needs to tell us anything specific. We all work on different types of kicks and mess around with different leans and stuff, and junk balls and balls in the air. So I think it's all kind of unspoken that we just kind of all work on, have as many tools in the toolbox, so to speak.
As evidenced by Dustin, I mean, a kicker's job, there's not a lot of security goes with that sometimes. How do you deal with that?
I just take it one day at a time. I just try to do my best and not think too much into the future or worry too much about things that are out of my control.
Cleveland's not the easiest place to kick. Now, it's a great place to kick right now, but just, how do you prepare for that element, something that's completely out of your control?
Right. I mean, I grew up in Chicago, so going through high school and stuff, I've kicked in in the colder weather and stuff, and just being a free agent too. I'm ready year round. You never know if you're going to be doing the UFL, which I ended up doing, or have a sign a futures deal. So I've been kicking in the cold weather, and my rookie year I was in Chicago, so the wind isn't super friendly there either. So, I feel like I've had a kind of a good grasp, and I've kind of understand how to play my ball in different kind of winds.
Did you ever kick it all in Soldier Field?
I did, yes, once.
That's one of the supposed that here in Pittsburgh are
Yeah.
supposedly the toughest.
That's what I've heard, yeah. So I'm excited. It's a good challenge, but I think with that kind of challenge comes even more focus and preparation that comes into it. So,
in what texture did you kick in Soldier Field?
Oh, it was just a family. It was practice. Yeah.
What's your dad and your girlfriend's name? Whoever else you said.
Gianna, my girlfriend, and my dad, Eric.
Jenna.
Good guys.
Hey, well, congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
All right, coming up next, it is official. We will tell you, you know about the two guys coming in. We'll tell you about the two guys going out. Some other things happening around the league as well. That's coming up next. Listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. It's presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Browns are headed to Vegas in November. You can be part of the action to the Browns Takeovers, powered by True Fan Travel. Head to clevelandbrowns.com/takeovers to book today, and you're going to receive a 3-night hotel stay, opportunity to hang with Browns alumni Christian Kirksey and Kevin Mack, a ticket to the game, and an all-inclusive pregame tailgate. Visit browns.com/takeovers to learn more. Let's take over Vegas in 2025. Well, it is official now. Do you have it in front of you, sir?
I do.
Go
So
ahead.
the Browns, we know about cornerback Jarek Bernard-Converse and running back Raheem Sanders. Tight end Brendan Bates has been waived, as well as cornerback Dom Jones. So the cornerback was a 1-for-1 switch. We were shocked. We told you all along the 4 tight ends was very surprising to us. That's the 3 running backs. Now you're down to 3 tight ends. I would expect both of these guys to be back on the Browns practice squad. Sometimes when you do something like this, it is so because you know it is less likely that somebody gets claimed after the second wave of releases. And so you should be able to get those guys back. In addition, the Browns already have 9 of their 16 on the practice squad. Tight end Sal Cannella, wide receiver Caden Davis, safety Christopher Edmonds, defensive tackle Ralph Holley, defensive tackle Sam Kamara, who's been with us basically since 2022.
Yeah.
Cornerback Lamarian James, and then 2 running backs, Monty Marshall and Travion Williams. And then one of the surprises I thought might get claimed somewhere but did not, because he sure as heck had a darn good preseason with us. Julian Aquara is back here with the Cleveland Browns. So it's one of those things, like, I think everybody thinks who's watching their team that, the guys that really are awesome for your team, they're going to get all snatched up. On average, teams didn't even make 1 waiver claim per team on average. And 7 of the 28, so 25% of all waiver claims were made by the Titans and the Jets.
Yeah.
So that means for the other 30 teams, there were 21 waiver claims made. There just aren't teams invest so much trying to get a guy in and learn your new system. It's just, it doesn't happen often. And for the Browns, if you think about it, the guys that have been claimed at the cornerback position the last couple of years, we did Khalif Halassi. And then last year, not at the claim, but we signed Chiganuzium pretty early in the season off of the practice squad of Washington. Then, neither made it another year.
Yeah. You hit it. I just think, like, with you go from an off-season program, you go into a camp, you've invested so much in these guys that it's just hard to try to get somebody else up to speed. That's why it's so easy, like what we did when we had the quarterback injuries, and you got Snoop out there, and it's like, well, look, bring him back. He knows the system. He can run it. Let's go. This is easy. That makes that very easy. Him returning to Baltimore today, that's very easy.
Yeah,
for him to return there. He knows everything that's going on there and how to handle it. And so when you're talking about bottom of the roster guys, what you really need is folks that can hit the ground running. And the reality is it's not really worth it for these teams to go add somebody and teach them all the stuff that these other guys have been taught.
Yeah.
Even if there is a slight talent upgrade, it's not worth it. It's bottom roster.
Right. And this is where you're going to be churning all season long.
Yes. Yeah. It's funny. Like, I always think about that because, we've been, is this 8 or 9 seasons for us? I can't remember. We're well into it. But I think it's 8, isn't it? Season 8 for the 3 of us?
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Boom.
Yeah. Season 8. Good job out of us. It goes by in a blink. But we spend so much time.
It's like 13 for me.
I know it.
Goodness gracious.
We spend so much time on this bottom roster stuff in August. And then once next week happens, you don't hardly talk about this at all. At all. You don't talk about the practice squad. Oftentimes, guys will come and go on our practice squad, and I don't even know who they are. And because you're not dealing in that world. You deal in the world right now. Next week, you deal with the 35 or 40 guys that are going to be in the mix. That's the ones that you know. And the rest of it it's the bottom of it. So
and you always hope, right, that you can find the Adam Thielen or that you can find the Victor Cruz. Those are some of the great stories. And there are a ton of undrafted players in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So it's just, these guys eventually, need to get into bigger roles. But this is a very quick thing here. It is a very, very quick type of a thing. I am focused much more on Quinshon Judkins than I am on waiver claims.
Yeah, I was just trying to think, like, unsettled rosters, issues around the league. It's him. It's Parsons. Because with Rashae Rice getting done today, McLaurin getting done, Hendrickson getting done.
Is Jawan Jennings still holding out in San Fran?
Jennings, is that sorted?
I don't think so. He was drafted in a bunch of fantasy leagues. By the way, I've reached the age where I'm like so done being a fantasy commissioner. Like people complaining, it's like I just have no time for it anymore. I just want to play. And there was a time in my life where I was like emotionally invested in the outcomes of my fantasy teams.
Yeah.
And it's not because now we can't play for money or anything like that with the NFL. Like that doesn't. I play for a penny. It's more pride and talking smack is all that matters.
Yeah.
But like it doesn't have the juice that it used to have.
I could not agree with you more. I was not ever,
makes sense. I mean, that was my career. That's how I got here, was fantasy
for
football.
sure. I never had the passion for it that you did, but I always had the one league that I did with all the Florida guys that I'm still in. This is year 25 of that league.
Yeah.
So that one I've done forever, and then I usually had a second one that I would do through the years, and then I kind of peeled off the second one. I'm just like, I can't pay attention to two teams. It's a pain in the neck. Who's on what team?
I got way too many teams. But like, it's more, I want leagues that are just fun, that have a little bit of smack talk, but nobody's complaining about rules or trying to change everything. It's just like, it is what it is. We'll just play and be fine. And I got to say, last night I did a draft with my buddies from AIW, Absolute Intense Wrestling. By the way, I hate to give you a little teaser here, but there may have been late night discussions the other day about a potential tag team maybe going one more time.
I knew it.
I hope your wife's listening right now.
I knew that was coming. You got a taste.
One more time for me, but a first time for somebody else.
Well,
that would be the tag team.
Yeah, I know who. I feel like I could do math pretty quickly and figure out what that is. I think wives are going to be consulted on all fronts on something like that. And I'll be curious to see if that comes to fruition. But you're going back in the ring. That's a lock.
No, I don't. Very particular circumstance. That's a circumstance that would
you'll find a circumstance. I think you're going to find a circumstance to get you back in there.
Anyway, did a draft with my guys from AIW last night. We drafted 16 rounds. Okay. And earlier,
that's
one of the leagues that I really like, it's a 16-round draft, and it took like 2 hours. It was like a 2-minute limit. Some people are taking 2 minutes. Like, what are we doing? Take 2 minutes.
Oh, my God.
Was
it in person or was it
online?
Online, totally. Was there a stream or a Zoom or anything? Or
no.
Not?
No.
Yeah.
Our AIW draft last night began at 10 p.m.
Okay.
And it ended at 10:37. Perfect.
Excuse me?
It was the
37 minutes?
It was the best draft I've ever been a part of.
Was
Because everybody got up and they picked, and they just picked. It was like, wow. I see what's coming here. I know who I want. I'm going to pick them.
Wow, I've never heard of such a thing.
The first round, the first 10 picks happened in less than 1 minute. The first round was just like
there were no
boom,
auto
boom,
drafters?
Boom, boom. Pick 9 was an auto drafter, but it didn't. I mean, so what? Out of 10,
yeah, that's insane. God bless. I've never heard of such a thing.
I sent a chat. I said, I got to tell you guys something. I've done this a long time.
It's great.
So this is the best draft I've ever been a part
I don't
of
know
in
if
my
I
life.
like that.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, I love that.
I don't.
Are you kidding
I
me?
like being at a bar. I like cocktailing while I'm doing it.
Sure, that's
a different
fun
experience, though.
But
Like,
that's
if
a heck of a lot better than being in an online, no Zoom, no hanging draft that's 2 hours. And you're like,
You're starting a draft at 10 o'clock at night. There's a potential that you're still drafting at 12:30 in the morning.
Well, if you're in person, that's a lock.
Yes,
if you're in
correct.
person,
but
it's a
even
lock.
at home, like
Well, the way that
not the way these guys
can't
roll.
Yeah.
It's called 37 minutes.
I kind of feel about fantasy drafts the way I feel about golf. Be bad fast.
That's right.
So just go. There is no certainties in this stuff, man. And the one I did on Monday, I told you guys, I've never been less prepared. Never.
But
like
maybe
I forgot it was
maybe
happening.
This is a good thing.
I don't know. I
because
forgot it was happening.
Drafting guys that get hurt in like
I know
that
it.
one.
McCaffrey. 2 times I've drafted him first round, and I was picking 9, which I am convinced is the worst place you can pick in the whole thing. And I just didn't have a feel for any of it. The guys that I wanted to pick were picked right ahead of me, first 3 picks, and just kind of had to scramble and didn't end up liking my team at all. I couldn't even tell you who's on it. I mean, I
Who
really
was your
couldn't.
top pick at number 9? Is it a keeper at all?
Is it Neighbors?
Oh, Malik. Sure.
Was it Malik Neighbors? Was it Nico Collins?
Nico.
I think it was Nico Collins. And then I can't remember who I got. I remember I wanted Derrick Henry, and then there was a receiver. Might have been Neighbors. Might have been the 2 that I wanted, and they went right before me both times.
I was pretty pumped in this one. Not that anybody cares about your fantasy team, but here you go, real fast. PPR, full PPR league, and you can start 4 receivers. So I want to try to be loaded up there. So my receivers are CeeDee Lamb, Nico Collins, Devontae Adams.
How many teams in this draft
10.
you ended up with those guys?
10. And Calvin Ridley. Those are my top 4 receivers.
Are you playing against Bootsy?
No, my running backs.
Like,
no,
how
there's
did
some
you
good
end up
players
with
there.
those guys? I don't
Because I
understand that.
zigged when they zagged. So I went wide receiver. A lot of people were trying to get running backs early, but then I still ended up at running back with Kenneth Walker, Travion, R.J. Harvey out in Denver, Austin Eckler. I got Dak
Look,
and
there's dogs.
Murray,
There's
little
dogs.
hawk.
Jeff's got dogs.
Look at that. Bring him in here. Bring that guy in there. I like the look of that guy.
I like the front
big
guy.
I like that guy.
Yeah.
Looked like maybe a Rhodesian Ridgeback.
So my dog Goldie was a lab.
Like your childhood dog?
My second childhood dog. This is the one that Nana gave away.
Excuse
What are
me?
you talking about?
So, all right, this is a good story. So Goldie, we had Ivory, who was like the greatest dog ever. She was a lab Australian Shepherd mix, the best dog ever. Like I had friends who were terrified of dogs who then got around Ivory, and then they were like, I need a dog. And they would go on to be great dog owners to this day. Then we got Goldie, who was like a rescue. She was like part Rhodesian Ridgeback and part of this like crazy hunting dog.
Okay. Like some sort of a hound. Well, Rhodesian Ridgeback's a hunting dog. I mean, they use it for lions.
So that, and then, but it was all, everything about this dog was like muscle attack.
Formidable.
And she was just nuts and high maintenance and like not Ivory. I think she had to be a rescue. So you'd take her to like we had at Bidwell, that park I talked about the other day. We would go and they had like 6 soccer fields, 2 baseball diamonds. Like it wasn't even enough room for it. The fastest, most athletic dog I've ever seen in my life. Like this dog was nuts. So we're down in Puerto Vallarta with my mom and dad, and then our family friend Kathy Ramos, and I'm in college at this point. So we're in the taxi to go into town, and I say simply, "How's Goldie?" My mom is yelling, blah blah, starts screaming at me basically. We gave her away basically to Kathy. And like, why do you have to bring this up? Well, I'm like, I'm just asking how Goldie is. And they while I was away at college, they gave Goldie away, which was fine. Like it was fine.
Yeah.
But like I also think like,
who's Kathy?
It was like our family friend, like one of my mom's best friends.
Oh, okay. It wasn't like you just like pulled over on the corner and said, "Goldie, get out. Best of luck."
No, which would have been really sad. Would have been really
That
sad.
would have been crazy.
My mom goes, "Oh, Myrie giving away Goldie." She used to jump over a 6-foot fence. True, so she could like get out of our backyard because like she was just like she was
that athletic.
It was nuts. This dog was.
She's
nuts.
the Bo Jackson of dogs.
She was. Well, we had the dog across the street that jumped over fences with a dog in its mouth. That's another story. I already told that story. That was a sad story.
Jeez.
But now my mom wants you to know that she gave her to Kathy, which was funny. I was about to tell the story. So Kathy, in addition to Goldie, she would always have rescue greyhounds.
Holy.
Okay, which are big dogs.
Yes.
Well, they run 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Like,
So now you have like this pack
you need a
of fast
backyard
dogs.
the size of Bo's
you
yard.
need the
in
Ponderosa.
Montana.
Yeah.
Like just go.
Did not have that where she was in Hayward. I mowed the lawn. I was
no.
in and out in 5 minutes.
Oh,
but there
no.
are lots of parks. I mean, you go to the parks and
Yeah,
let these
but
dogs
holy
run. But
cow.
nonetheless, so Ramos had these greyhounds, and they had, get your dog, spayed and neutered and whatnot. So the males would go and snip snip. So apparently these greyhounds, it was like a big deal to them. So she got this is true. They surgically attached like fake testicles.
Excuse me?
To the dogs, so they felt like they were still whole. True story. Look at what my mom said. Read the bottom sentence. Well, don't read it out loud, but just read it.
Well,
So you know the veracity.
Conversation's gone a whole different
veracity of my
direction today.
So there's a lot
That's
of
the most
crazy
absurd
stuff
thing
going.
I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, but you see sometimes on like the back of trucks, people put them on the back of trucks.
Yeah.
I don't get that at all.
No, I don't.
It's one of the strange things I've ever seen.
It is very strange.
There's a term for that. I just
There is.
can't say it on the air.
Oh, there is a term for it? I didn't know that. I'm curious to hear it in
man.
the break. But yeah, so there you
Wow.
go. Goldie just given away. I find out in Mexico, and like my mom like goes into a fit because I asked how Goldie was doing.
You didn't know that they'd given her away.
No.
How's the dog?
This is my
Gone.
dog. Gone. Yeah, ask Kathy.
Ask Kathy. She's
Yeah.
got him.
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh, man. We'll do a little higher lower coming up next. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns on 850 ESPN Cleveland. OBM, the preferred copier provider and document services provider for your Cleveland Browns. They'll tackle any size office at 216-485-2000 or visit ohiobusinessmachines.com. Time for a little higher or lower, a little better or worse. Hello, Gibby.
Gentlemen, hi.
Oh,
better
hi.
or worse?
Oh, hi.
Football team is on the football field.
All right.
Right now. Some news out of Houston, by the way. Texans GM Nick Caserio, non-committal about whether Pro Bowl running back Joe Mixon will play at all in 2025.
So I heard Schefter talking about this too, and that's kind of what he said, which was that he had reached out to Houston looking for an answer on what is going on, and he never got one. And he's led to believe that it's possible that Mixon won't play at all this year, which would put them – obviously Nick Chubb goes to the front of that line, but by most accounts I've read down there, it's been kind of rough for Nick, as you can imagine, coming off of catastrophic injuries and all of those things. That is a team that doesn't have a whole lot of holes, so someone is going to have to step up in that operation. I'm not sure exactly who it would be. I don't know their depth chart well enough, but that would be a big one.
I mean, are they going to go by committee?
Yeah, so they have Woody Marks, who somebody they drafted this year. I want to say in the fourth or fifth round.
Yeah, fourth round pick Woody Marks, and then Damian Pierce is there.
He was fantasy relevant back in like 2019, maybe.
He was on the fourth rounder in 2022.
Damian Pierce.
Yeah,
he was good in 2022. I think in 2022, I'm going to say right now, this is off the top of my head. I'm going to look at after I say it, but I'm going to say it first. I think he had 931 yards rushing that year.
That's incredible if that's in the vicinity. It's a very good job out of you.
Let's see. Well, don't say that yet. We don't know that.
Could
yet.
be. Feels like it is.
Say it confidently. I'll believe it.
939.
God, that's a great job out of you.
939.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, the rest of their roster is pretty set. Their defense is going to be one of the best in the league.
I'm telling you.
And offensively, they got a ton. They just need a little out of their backs.
This Jaden Higgins.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of excitement about him down there.
Mm-hmm.
6'4", 215. He's going to be on one side, and on the other side runs a 4.40, and on the other side you got Nico Collins.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Christian Kirk still running around in the middle.
Yep.
I mean, that feels like winning.
Especially in that division.
Yeah, they're going to be fun. I think they're going to be fun.
Sidebar, Carson Schlesinger voted the 2025 Maurice Bassett Award winner, given to the team's most outstanding rookie in training camp, as voted on by the Browns media.
Tell you what, there was some competition there.
Yeah.
There was some competition. I think it's right, but there was some real competition. It could have been
Gage, Aiden,
Mason Graham, Aiden Huntington, Gage, Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, a little higher or lower.
Let's do it.
The ESPN experts ranked the top 100 players in the NFL just out this week. The rules, their 10 experts asked to rank players based on expected performance for the 2025 season. Their rankings are based on predicting potential greatness rather than past performance. We used those 10 sets of votes to come up with our consensus top 100. They had 15 QBs, 15 wide receivers in their top 100. The Eagles had 10 players, the Lions with 8, the 49ers and Ravens with 6 each. Saints and Panthers did not have a player on that list.
Wow.
I'm telling you, New Orleans is
dreadful.
It's dreadful.
If you need a defense week 1, I'm pretty sure Arizona opens the season against New Orleans. I think you could stream whoever's playing New Orleans every week.
That's right.
And do just fine.
Yeah, I think you do just fine, yeah.
Browns had 2 guys make the list. Miles was 3rd. Denzel Ward was 79th, and he was listed as the number 7 corner in the National Football League.
That's too low. Too low for Denzel. 7th corner's too low.
Way too low. Not even in the vicinity of appropriate.
All right, so higher or lower, where should he?
He's better than that, and he should be.
Is he better than Jalen Johnson at 68?
Yes. I'd put him at.
I'd put him 4.
I'd put him 4 as well. I was going to put him 40th.
Yeah.
Or 39th, where Trent McGuffey is.
Yeah. So behind Surtain, Stingley, and Gardner, slot him right in there.
Yep.
I would tend to agree. All right, we'll talk quarterbacks here. Should the following be ranked higher, lower, or are they just right? Carmen hit.
Real quickly, we did get Jordan Schultz with some breaking news. Former Jets wide receiver Malachi Corley is signing with the Browns.
That's interesting.
According to Jordan Schultz, I'm told Corley had multiple opportunities on the open market, ultimately chose Cleveland.
That could make it. That could be, if that pans out, that could make it. That could be tough for Gage, because Malachi Corley was very well thought of coming out of school. In 2023, he's a third rounder of the Jets, coming out of Western Kentucky. Over his last 2 years at Western Kentucky, put up 2,200 total yards, 12 touchdowns. He was one of those guys. Get him the ball, let him do his thing. Can return it as well.
Is he a Bailey Zappi on the other end of that target? Wasn't he at Western Kentucky when they threw for all the yards?
Oh yeah, he was a Hilltopper. Let's see, 2022. Austin Reed was the quarterback in 2022, threw for 4,746 yards, 40 touchdowns, and 11 picks. 2023 was also Austin Reed, so maybe he
didn't cross over.
Maybe Zappi was early. Well, he was there in 2021. Yeah, Zappi in 21 throws for 5,967 yards and 62 touchdowns, 426 yards a game. Yeah, Corley was on that team. Leading receiver that year was a guy named Jareth Stearns, who I've never heard of before, who had 150 catches, 1,902 yards, and 17 touchdowns.
Wow.
Man. So Corley, remember, famously with the Jets, and I want to say it may have even been as early as that game last year. Didn't he have one where he just dropped the ball going into the end zone?
Was he that one?
Yes. Let's see. I'm going to pull up a game.
J-Mac says you are correct.
And that would have been, I want to say it was against Houston. He had an 18-yard run and was in the end zone on a reverse and then dropped the ball before he went in. Not much production in his one season in the league, cut a year later. 3 catches, 16 yards. He had 2 rushes for 26 yards. Did he do any returning for them? Does not appear so.
So there's also a tie to the movie Draft Day here with him. And now that I remember reading this from the New York Post, the Jets drafted Corley 65 overall in 24 with much fanfare. They traded up to get him after the draft released a text message on social media from then coach Robert Saleh to then general manager Joe Douglas. It said, "No matter what," with a photo of Corley, a reference to the movie Draft Day. Yak King at Western Kentucky.
We brought him in for a top 30 visit last year, so somebody we've had our eye on, and we'll see if he's going to get an opportunity.
Coach O'Shea must have liked him.
Yeah.
All right, real quick. I'm just going to go through the 15 quarterbacks that are listed. You tell me if these should be higher or lower. You don't have to tell me where they should be, but you can just tell me higher, lower, or just right. Number 1 is Patrick Mahomes. Higher, lower, just right.
He's fine.
Can't be higher.
I think he's fine.
Yeah. No one who was trying to win one game wouldn't pick him.
He's only been to the championship game or the Super Bowl as a starting quarterback. That's it.
That's it. So he has to be.
Yep.
Number 2, Josh Allen.
This is where I flip.
I'd go Lamar.
I go Lamar too.
Lamar Jackson had the greatest, I think.
It's weird. He's actually undervalued as the third quarterback. He's the most prolific. He's kind of turned it. He doesn't have the Super Bowl yet, but there's a little Manning to this. He's kind of the modern Manning, Peyton, in that, not stylistically, but his regular seasons are extraordinary. He's a 2-time MVP. Really should be 3.
He should have won it again last year.
Yeah.
Last year he threw for, just so people understand this, 4,172 yards, 41 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
The last 2 seasons he's got 65 touchdowns passing and 11 interceptions. Oh, by the way, he also ran last season for 915 yards, 4 touchdowns at 6.6 yards a carry.
Yeah.
He is the only quarterback in the history of the National Football League to have a season in which he throws for 4,000 yards and rushes for 900 yards. And, by the way, he led the league with a touchdown-interception ratio, again, I'll say it, of 41-4.
And just about half, if not more, of the teams wanted him to play defense.
Oh, God.
Coming out of it.
And he was pretty good last year in the playoffs. It's kind of amazing that they lost. Obviously, Mark Andrews catches that ball. They beat Buffalo.
They win, yeah.
They win. They really didn't deserve to lose. 74% completions, 429 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, a rating of 122.5, and then added as a runner in the playoffs as well last year, 120 yards, 6 yards a carry. I mean, 300 yards of offense, basically 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, and they lost. Now he lost that one fumble that was unfortunately a little bit of a big one.
Okay. So you would have Lamar ahead of Allen.
Lamar
Burrow
ahead of
was
Allen.
number 5.
I had a Burrow ahead of Allen too.
Been to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, beat Mahomes.
Yeah. Then you got to drop all the way down to 24.
I mean, those 4 are different than everybody else. Then it's a step, and then it's a matter of, can Jaden get into that mix? I mean, he was incredible last year.
I'd like to see it again.
Can CJ bounce back after the year he had? We were all waiting on Justin Herbert. Jalen Hurts, all he does is win.
Yep.
So there's that part of it too. So I think that next group to me is Daniels, Herbert, Hurts.
Daniels, Goff maybe should be in there. Stafford should be in there.
Yeah. I mean, they have.
Then that's another
they have
group.
Dak on this 78 ahead of CJ and Brock Purdy.
And a Jordan Love.
Yeah.
Jordan Love's pretty good.
Yeah.
Jane Daniels ran for 891 yards last year.
Yeah. Can he stack it?
That's a
lot of good quarterbacks. A lot of good quarterbacks in the league. So much more to come.
It's
You're
fun.
listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, preview show tonight, 7 to 8 on the University Hospitals Browns Radio Network. Center Luke Whippler, Andrew Siciliano joined Ken and Gerard tonight for that. So there you go on those things. Just to refresh real quickly here in terms of waiver claims. Raheem Sanders, running back, previously with the Chargers. He was claimed earlier today after a 4-year career in the SEC at Arkansas and South Carolina, and then Jarek Bernard Converse, and then here within the corner, previously of the Jets, then another Jet, according to Jordan Schultz, just 23 years old. Malachi Corley, former third-round pick out of Western Kentucky. He comes into the mix, reportedly being signed by the Browns as well.
Another one from Adam Kaplan.
What?
Look for the former Patriots
He's
first-round
working on
pick,
huge.
guard center Cole Strange, to join the Browns practice squad. Adam Kaplan.
20.
Holy cow.
Breaking news, potentially.
That's the first time in a minute. In a minute.
He's always working on something big.
Something big.
This
Huge.
is it.
Big.
Huge. Next level's next. Cleveland Browns Daily 850 ESPN Cleveland.